Hey everybody, Kevin Duffy here of MassLive.com, joined by Mark Daniels of the Providence Journal, as always. 27-6, Patriots really took control of this early, and it just wasn't much of a game for the second half. Huge win for the Pats because now they're the #1 seed in the AFC again, with Denver and Cincinnati both losing, and of course Cincinnati losing Andy Dalton as well. So I don't know where to start today. I guess there's a lot. The defense played great. Rob Gronkowski came back. What do you think Gronk did?
I was pretty surprised, first off, that he came back after only missing one game. I don't think anyone would have predicted that. I don't think I would have predicted that he would have returned before Dante Hightower. Not only does he return, he actually played a decent amount. I mean, he started the game. I wouldn't have predicted that. And then, he only had 4 passes thrown to him the entire game, but he still caught 4 balls for, 80-something yards and a touchdown. He got hit a couple times. He took a couple Tom Brady passes deep. It's what the offense needed.
Yeah, he had that 45-yard gain to start things off, and I think the linebacker in coverage there fell, which kind of made that a little bit easier. And then he had the touchdown then in the first half. So certainly the offense is much different when he's out there. But to me, the real story of this game was the defense. It was the way Logan Ryan covered DeAndre Hopkins. It was the pure hell that Brian Hoyer faced against the Patriots pass rush. I can't remember a game when the Pats really beat up a quarterback like they did today. Jabal Sheard was great. Akeem Hicks, who stepped in and played a lot when Dominique Easley went out, was fantastic as well. So I thought the defense was real. That was the takeaway for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Logan Ryan, after the game, actually told me he watched every game from DeAndre Hopkins, and he said, I watched every route that he ran. And he said that's what the key was. He said he essentially locked himself in the video room at Gillette Stadium, and he watched every game from DeAndre Hopkins in preparation for this. And he said that was the ultimate key for his success. Granted, he was actually mad because in the fourth quarter he gave up a 40-yard pass. So he said that's going to push him to actually get into Gillette Stadium tomorrow morning on Monday to watch more film in preparation for Tennessee. Logan Ryan's development has been crazy. He's actually a year younger than Malcolm Butler, which is kind of nuts to think about. And he's established himself here as you could say the #2 cornerback, but there are times he kind of looks like a #1. Granted, he has more help over the top than Malcolm ever does, but it's been a really positive development for the Pats.
Yeah, it's been probably one of the better stories on the Pats this year, and we were in the Patriots locker room, of course, so we didn't hear the Texans interview, but you saw DeAndre Hopkins' comments, and it seemed like he was pretty frustrated. He said, I was double teamed the whole game, and basically guys who are single cover need to make plays, and that didn't happen. And I think once the Pats got ahead by 2 scores in this game, it was pretty clear that it was going to be over because Houston just doesn't have the firepower offensively to stick with them. On the downside, of course, this is another Patriots game, so we must address all the injuries that occurred. I don't know if any of these are as serious as what we've seen in the past. We had Mike Reese of ESPN reported that McCourty's ankle seems minor. We also had Easley leave with a thigh injury and LeGarrette Blount with a hip injury.
Yeah, and Jonathan Freeney with a hand injury.
Of course.
It's kind of crazy. Everyone's real happy. This past week you get Julian Edelman back in practice, Rob Gronkowski returns, and all of a sudden Gronk's starting and he's producing. And then at the end of the day, though, offensively, they really, really needed LeGarrette Blount because the game plan was kind of built around him, I thought. He was averaging over 5 yards a carry. He had 53 yards on 10 carries. And essentially, he kind of got the ball rolling for him. And I thought that was huge. And really, Brandon Bolden stepped in, but he doesn't bring the same thing at all. He's a backup running back and a special teams player. So they lose something there. That's something to keep an eye on. McCourty, the Patriots are lucky that they have great depth at safety. And they'll definitely be lucky if that report's true and that he's not seriously injured because you can't lose a guy like that.
Yeah, we'll see what blunts the degree of his injury, but you don't want him gone for a long time. But I did think that Bolden stepped in. The numbers don't look as good as Blunt's, but I thought Bolden ran pretty hard. And I thought James White, again for the second straight week, made some moves in the open field. I think he's not going to be Dion Lewis. Everyone knows that, but I think Patriots fans have to be kind of happy with the development they've seen from White.
Yeah, absolutely. He scored a rushing touchdown today, and he had I think he had almost 40 receiving yards. He almost had 60. He had an awesome catch that would have been for 20 yards that got reversed. It was so close. It was I want to say probably, I don't want to even say inches. It might have been a half inch away from making that grab.
I thought he had it.
I did too. I thought I honestly have no idea what a catch is and what a catch is not anymore in the NFL. That's one of my big takeaways from this game.
That pretty much nails it. So that's all we got from Energy Stadium. We'll talk to you guys next week.